When the market falls, what does it mean for your pension and your savings? Well, here are some good things about market falls. First of all, some of the worst days in the markets are often followed by some of the best days. So the biggest rebounds often happen immediately afterwards. And what you can see on screen there are the Dow futures following the US Federal Reserve cutting interest rates by a quarter percentage point, which led to a sell-off. Yesterday, I'm speaking on Thursday, the 19th of December, and we can see from the futures, which give you an anticipation of how the market will open, which would look to in about an hour from when I'm recording this, that it should open higher. Now, that doesn't mean it's necessarily going to stay higher. So one of the positive things about holding your nerve and not panicking is that actually waiting can be beneficial because we see statistically some of the returns can be better. I've written about this in my various books as well. There's another reason. It is when the markets fall that you truly get to discover your risk appetite. And knowing your risk appetite is incredibly important because it's not when the markets are rising, when you're all gung-ho and you think you're an armchair general going to fire into the markets, that you should determine your risk appetite. It's when actually they're falling and the bullets are flowing that you discover, actually, I've put too much capital in. Now, if you get worried about a market fall, whether it's over a day or a week, it means you've either put too much capital in and or don't have a strategy. Okay, don't know what to do. And you're relying instead on hope and probably a lack of information because you've not looked at everything. So if you take, say, a Warren Buffett approach is that he ends up holding a lot of cash because unless he's absolutely happy with something, he won't buy into it. They do all their due diligence and they wait patiently. They don't look at the news. They don't necessarily look at Bloomberg every single day or CNBC and the like on a daily basis. So that's another good thing. You get to be paid for not doing anything because you wait patiently, assuming that you've got good quality companies to begin with. And it's a useful reminder to make sure that you only ever put into your portfolio things you are absolutely happy with. Warren Buffett put it another way. He said, actually, if they were to turn the stock market off for the next 6 months or a year, would you be okay holding what you've got? When you can't exit it, you can't get out of it. And that's a pretty clever way of putting it and a useful way of judging what you should hold. The reason a lot of us don't get rich in the markets is not because we've got a lack of capital. It's because we are rightly cautious in that we don't put too much capital into one investment or just into a handful. Okay, so patience pays. Falls are good for that reason. Falls are also good for a reason that, again, Warren Buffett mentions, which is it allows him to buy good quality companies at a cheaper price. Okay, so it takes some air out of the market. You can now see things have fallen back. I don't mean the very next day. You can see they've fallen back. More opportunities will come up. So it gives you more opportunities going forward. Whereas people, of course, are naturally greedy and they just want the market to go up, 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 and up. It doesn't do that. It doesn't tend to do that. Okay, so avoiding panic is very important, and one of the best ways to do that is to make sure you had the right companies that you're very happy with. What we do is we look for undervalued companies which are high growth, dividend yielding, cash flow generating, relatively low volatility. This is the point where you realize actually volatility is quite important. It's not just all about return, it's about the journey to getting that return, and therefore we want to make sure there's relatively low volatility as well. Okay, so that's important. And sometimes just when the sun's shining constantly, it makes sense to put on some sunglasses and just enjoy it, because a little rain will eventually come, and those days when it comes, it's fine. So don't panic.